The most exciting thing, I think, about the Troy story has been the re-excavation of the site, which has started at the end of the 80s and really worked up steam in the mid-90s and is still on at the moment. So when we made the film, you could look back at Schliemann's excavations, Dörpfeld's, and then Carl Blegen's in the 30s, and we ended with Carl Blegen's trenches being closed up before the Second World War. But now there's been a massive and scientific re-excavation of the site. The discoveries have been, well, sensational, to be honest. I mean, one of the most important things is that they've discovered that the site that we call Troy is only the royal citadel, and that there was a major lower town, probably 700 or 800 yards across from one side to another, which in Bronze Age terms is quite big. Not that much smaller than the Roman and Greek town that existed on the site. All sorts of interesting new stuff has come out on that, with a clear indication of where the Greek epic imagined the Greek camp to have been, which actually was over to the west on a bay between wide headlands, just as Homer describes it, called Beshica Bay, opposite the island of Tenedos. So everybody had conceived of the war and the battles in the wrong direction. And this new discovery, and they've even found mounds with Mycenaean Greek cremations of presumably warriors close to the seashore, means that we've really got a kind of a sense of how Homer imagined it, and indeed how the story was passed down. The other really great thing about it, which gives me particular pleasure, is that back when we started making this, more than 20 years ago, I looked at there's a diplomatic archive that survives from this time, from the Hittite Empire, which was based in the middle of Turkey. And this was one of the great kingdoms of the time. Whole of episode 5 in the series is taken up with this. And they were on a par with ancient Egypt, you know, Ramses the Great and Babylon, and they had diplomatic relations, and they sent ambassadors and exchanged letters and all this stuff. They were one of the main kingdoms of the time. And in the Hittite diplomatic archive, there's a whole series of letters relating to another great king somewhere out to the west. And this king was the king of a place called Achaia, or Achaia. And Homer calls the Greeks Achaeans. There is still a centre of Greece called Achaia. In Homeric Greek, that will be Archaioi. Now, common sense suggested that these people were indeed the Mycenaean Greeks. You know, Homer remembered Agamemnon, king of Mycenae, as being the overlord of the whole of Greece at the time of the Trojan War, the king who led all the kings of Greece in this great expedition to Troy. And here in the diplomatic archive, in the middle of Turkey, from just the right period, you know, 1280s, 70s, 60s BC, is the story of these struggles over on the shore of the Aegean between the western kingdoms of Anatolia, who were under the Hittite Empire, and this great king of this mysterious kingdom to the west. Now, at the point we started this, all the scholars were saying, no, it can't possibly be, no, you can't take that, can't do that seriously. I got attacked by the greatest scholar of the Homeric texts, Sir Moses Finlay, saying, oh, it's all unbelievable. And of course, I'm a great believer that in history, common sense takes you a long way. And common sense said that these must be the Greeks. The revolution in the last 20 years is that it's now accepted, as it surely is correct, that these were the Greeks. So what it means is, not only have we got the archaeology of Troy pinned down much more accurately, but we've actually got a series of texts which are letters, sometimes even between the king of the Greeks and the king of the Hittites, about their conflicts along the shores of the Aegean, including the area of Troy itself. So everything that one speculated, I say with a certain amount of diffidence, but with a certain amount of pleasure, has turned out very likely to be true.